Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I got a look at the iBasingo 900mm titanium pot. Alright everybody, welcome back. So, this probably looks pretty familiar to some of you, doesn't it? Almost kind of looks like a UltraLight Cook Set. There are some slight differences. The base is a little bit wider, and this looks a little taller, but I think because this is wider, it's probably the same volume. Anyway, I bought this personally because I'm looking to upgrade some of the gear in my larger bug-out bag. Now, let me explain to you my theory on bug-out bags. They're great to have for short-term emergencies. Fire, flooding, next door neighbor's house has a gas leak and you got to leave the area for 2 days. Stuff like that, great. For long-term, I'm never coming home type stuff, the kind of bag you'd have to carry as a bug-out bag you probably couldn't carry because you need so much stuff. So as far as my I'm never coming home kit, that generally resides in Rubbermaid tubs. It's been pre-set up. It's all ready to go. I rotate it out frequently if there's older food in it. And that's generally what I use as an I'm never coming home kit. And it would take me about 15 minutes to load it up in my car with all the Rubbermaid tubs, and there's about 5 of them. So my version of bug-out bags, because I live fairly remote, is they are good for short-term emergencies and disasters, bad weather, stuff like that. They're not good for, never coming home kit. But anyway, let's get back to the topic at hand. Don't want to go off on a tangent there. There's just some people I see making bug-out bags for, never coming home kits, and I'm like, you got 3 days worth of food in there. What are you going to do after that? And if you tell me you're going to go up in the woods and hunt for Bambi, I'm like, so are 15,000 other people planning to do that. So anyway, I bought this kit. I bought this little guy because I love the idea of the UltraLight Cook kits. They're just a little heavy. And I'm trying to lighten the load on this because this is a large bag and it is heavy. It's probably, at least it was, close to 50 pounds. Now, I'm not going to be cooking a lot of stuff in this. Generally in this bag, all of the food has changed over from MREs to our field stripped MREs, just the entrees, to freeze-dried. So I really don't have to worry about too much cooking. Now down the road, if I have to heat up a can of soup or make some Chef Boyardee ravioli or whatever, this will work. If I'm going to cook something, like beef or something in a pan, it may be a little more difficult in that. So that's why I chose this, because pretty much all of that food in there is going to be just me boiling water. That's my, beginning and end of cooking in that kit. So I will show you one difference here is that this guy, I only keep 1 cup in these. I'll save the other cup, because there's no point in me carrying 2 cups. So this will be going in here when we weigh them and test them. But I only really keep 1 cup in it, so it's really no big deal. So let's take a look and weigh them on a scale, see how much they weigh. I'm going to give you a little information on the this guy here first. Now, this is listed as iBasingo or Basingo. On it, if you can read it up close there, it'll say Boundless Voyage. I have no idea who makes this. It's either iBasingo or Boundless Voyage. I will leave a link in the description down below where you can pick one up you want. They run about $31.99, and when you're ordering them, be careful because there's a bunch of different Boundless Voyage pots and pans and hangers and all this other stuff and cups. And, it's got like 5 different items on the one description, but the picture is this. So when you go there, make sure you're picking the, the 900 milliliter pot. The name on it is TI15103I. So if you're looking for it in YouTube, Google, if you want to see if you can find it a little cheaper, which is perfectly fine. You don't have to buy it from me. I'd rather you save the money. It is, the model number is TI15103I. And like I said, they run about 31 bucks. It's got the folding locking handle with vented lid. So it's really kind of just like the UltraLight, pretty close. The UltraLight is a little bit taller, but like I said, the volume of this is wider on the bottom. Let's see, it can be used as a water cup, cook pot, can be cooked instant ramen noodles, stuff like that. You can break it in half. I don't know if you can fit a whole ramen noodle in there. You might have to crack it in half and put it in there, but for survival activities, this is pretty darn good. So, let me get the scale out here. And again, I'm going to have to move the camera. So give me a sec to move the camera pointed down to it so you can see what I'm talking about. Alright, so we got the scale here. The first thing we're going to do is weigh the Stanley. Put it on there. And that is 10.55 ounces. And that's with the 1 cup in it. Let me get that out of there. And here is the iBasingo or Boundless Voyage, whatever the heck they're calling it. Alright. Let's put that in there. And I'm looking at 7.9 ounces. So even if you want to go without a cup, it's way lighter. You know, it's 3 ounces lighter. Now, for most of us, that's not a big deal. For people that are really, really conscious on every gram they put in their bag, people hiking long distances, people hiking the AT, that's really important to them. So that's a big difference. And I'm sure I could get a titanium cup and put it in there, but again, I'm not that concerned. I just wanted something a little bit lighter. And this does feel a whole lot lighter. So let's bring it up top. I'm going to boil some water and we're going to cook a little freeze-dried meal and see how quickly it works and how it looks after it's been used. Alright, so I'm all set up here. One of the things that I am going to do today, I went through and rotated out some older freeze-dried stuff for the bucket that I'm making of just freeze-dried food that's a grab-and-go type thing. And this is an old chili macaroni from Wise Company. This was manufactured in 2011. It expired 11/30/2018. So it's ready to get rotated out. Alright, so it needs 2 cups of water to work. We got 2 cups of water here. We're going to pour it in. And I'm going to light my grill, light my burner. There we go. Now I'm not going to time this or anything because, you know, water boils due to the stove. There's so many variables. So I'm not going to time it or anything, but we are going to let it run and we're going to see how it works as far as just good enough for boiling water for my bug out bag's uses and see how we like it. Alright, so this has come to a boil. I like the fact that that's cool enough to pick up. That's kind of neat. This end here is cool. That's kind of handy. You don't have to worry about burning yourself. I don't want to melt my plastic on my counter here, so let's pour that in there. Seems to work very, very well for boiling. That was a nice quick boil. I would guess under 3 or 4 minutes. Now I'm going to mix this up. And this just turned into a taste test. Now, actually, I want to see how good this is after almost a year past the expiration date. So we'll seal it up, let it sit. But all in all, I'm really pleased with this little pot. And you know what's nice about titanium, and some people will criticize it for this, is that it gets cool quick. I mean, it's hot, but it's touchable. If you did that with a stainless steel pan, you'd burn your fingers right away. This area stays cool here, so you can carry it off the fire. It's just nice to have that. It's nice to have that ability. You know, you're done cooking, it dries up nicely, it stays clean and sanitary. That's one of the nice things about titanium. Now, the markings on it. The graduation marks are in, what are they, in liters. All right, so 2 cups, generally what almost all Mountain House uses, is a little bit under the 5 liter. I think it's 4.5. So you'll notice come up to about here. You know, with Mountain Houses, if you came to here, you'd probably be fine too. So it is marked that way, so it is a little different, but, you know, you can adapt to it easy enough. Worst comes to worst, you can just fill it up with water and get an engraver and kind of engrave the side there or make a mark on it with a screwdriver or whatever where you want the markings to be. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. I gotta say, for the price, which is $31.99, so you figure 32 bucks, you basically have the titanium version of the old mess kit there, the old reliable Stanley cook kit, and you just toss one of the cups in and you're good to go. If you really want to go ultralight, you can buy, I believe Boundless Voyage also makes the titanium cups that will fit in there too, but really, I mean, that's pushing it a little too far. So I'll bring you back in a few seconds here to see how this came out, and we'll wrap up the video. Alright, so 15 minutes has gone by. It's funny, the bag kind of puffed up and got really big like a balloon and then seemed to shrink down. When it shrunk down, I checked it and it looked ready to go. Now, just a side note, I know this is mainly about this, but here's a little side note on these. These seem to be similar to the Mountain House. It does look a little runny, so maybe you want to use a little less water. Tiny little bit less. It doesn't look bad, but a little less water. So let's take a look and see what we got here. And you'll see what I mean. See? But, looks pretty good. Now remember, this is almost a year expired. Yeah. Tastes fine. We got beans in there, a little bit of meat. Nope. Doesn't taste expired, so that's a good thing to know. One of the things too is if it needs a little salt or pepper, it tastes like. So I'll put a pinch in there. By the way, what you're seeing here is a little trick that I do with my spices when I put them in my bag. I keep them in these little Tic Tac containers. Garlic, onion, salt, and pepper mixed together. Kind of a handy way to keep your stuff together. It does seem to need a little bit of salt though. Kind of bland. But yeah, for a survival situation, the pot did its job. Pretty happy with it. And like I said, $31.99. I'll give you the link below. Make sure when you're ordering it, you're ordering the 900 milliliter pot. This is the 900 milliliter one here. And I think you'll like it. You know, will the other Stanley work for you? Yeah, of course, it'll work fine. This isn't a do or die type thing. For me, I want to lighten the load in that big bag because this is a longer term bug out bag. This is a bug out bag that I might take if I know I'm going to be away from my home for a week or something. You know, I have about 7 days worth of food in there, and even freeze dried, that starts to add up in weight. So I want to try and get as light as possible yet have good quality gear. So for me, a couple of ounces is worth it. For you, it may not be. It's up to you. But that is the iBasingo, or Boundless Voyage, 900 milliliter titanium pot, as they call it. I kind of call it a cook kit because it reminds me of the Stanley cook kit. And I will put a link down below where you can pick one up. Underneath that link, we will have our Amazon store. When you shop in there, it really helps me out. Even if you just click the link and don't buy anything in the store, just click the link, shop as you normally would. Below that is our UltraLight link down below. If you're interested in checking out some new flashlights from UltraLight, they are really innovative. They got a ton of stuff coming out, and they're always having cool sales. So check them out. Below that is our Thrive freeze-dried food store. And if you're interested in getting stocked up in some freeze-dried food and bulk storage, that's the place to do it. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.